Hello! Oh, I'm all crackly and poppy and... Hello, everyone! Thank you for the new follow there. And we're gonna... It's a new year, all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Geez. Hopefully this is going to be a new and interesting year. A lot of things going on for the library. Constantly growing. We may have some cool stuff about becoming even bigger. Geez, a lot of harebrained schemes coming from this brain. Trying to get those ideas out to our board, who can tell me, "No, David, that's not doable." But I don't anticipate them doing that because most of them are, "Yeah, David, that sounds like a great idea. Let's do this." Which is why the library exists in its entire... anyways. Let's see. So, we go with... we're going to showcase what we got in the mail yesterday, which I wasn't anticipating. Ooh, I went really dark. That's what happens when I try to adjust on a delay. So dark. So, at an event, we had our Spelljammer stuff walk away, and someone was nice enough to mail us a new copy of the Spelljammer box set. We still need to replace the collector's edition box set, but this is nice for people to have get their hands on. We always want physical copies of stuff, so I got to find out who actually sent this to us, because I think it was purchased through a local game store and sent to us, which is awesome. If it was you that sent it to us, thank you. Reach out. We'd love to say thank you properly. Let's see. And then on the 31st, I was going out to... so few days years, I help the Washington State History Museum. I go and help sell memberships during their Train Fest, which is their big event at the end of the year. They get more people coming through during that week because I'm a big history nerd. But I opened the door and we had a couple packages, and one was from Renegade Games, and we got the Transformers: A Beacon of Hope, the Adventure, and GM screen. So, we have our Transformers stuff, core books, and now we've got the GM screen. I don't know, the art doesn't... I mean, it's not bad, but it's missing something. I mean, it's really well done art, but I think maybe it's the muted colors that they went with. And there is a ton of info here. Whew. I love having GM screens that have a lot of info and this all looks really well laid out too. So that's a big thing because turn action, combat action, skill list. So if you've got a GM screen that just has tons of info but it's not laid out well, size adjustment matrix. So I've seen plenty of GM screens that have a lot of info on them, but they're not well laid out. So, and then our last book that we got from 2022 is Grand Odyssey. So we talked to the core designer. So his Kickstarter actually didn't fund, but they had enough money to do the printing. The Kickstarter was to get some more interest and everything. What was really nice is they went back and they added in their additional contributions, special thanks, David and Carissa Carnahan of Alexandria RPG. So they said thank you to the wife and I. I think he was out of the Netherlands, if I remember right. But there's a lot of really cool stuff about this book. The art's really neat. But there's some really fun original stuff. And I want to get them on to run the game Jeffrey Seadrake, I will be reaching out to him and see if he can come run this. It's a neat looking world, some decent rules, and the layout's a lot of fun. In their Pantheon section, they have like a huge list of gods, but they only did rules for 3 of them so that players could. So, Dragon God Quiltrea, and all her background and rules. Lunastrine God Kamazats, all her rules, and then a very Japanese-oriented, the Japanese god Ebisu. So it was really cool that they give you a ton of example of god or a ton of gods to use, but they only gave you rules for 3, so that you kind of go, hey, this is where we're at, and either you can make them or it gives them room to make more in the future. So let's get to les news. We'll get my face out of here, because I know everybody wants to see more of this mug. See, now I'm up in the corner. I'm the little head in the corner. Okay, so we didn't stream last week, and it wasn't because of the holidays. It was due to I was working on our vehicle. Had a heater hose go out, and then if you know anything about vehicles, heater hoses are also connected to your radiator. So all my coolant dumped under the ground, and when it's winter time, well, even when it's summertime, driving your engine without coolant, not the greatest of ideas. So we have a cool challenge. I wish I would have, because most places only threw this out last week, so very little timing for everybody. But so Dungeon 23, the creator of Mothership, Sean McCoy. He works for Tuesday Night Games, and night as in knight in shining armor. Came up with this idea, Dungeon 23. So the idea is let me just read. So, what is Dungeon 23? Dungeon 23 is a daily writing practice that is built around game design. Every day, the participant will design another room in a dungeon, and at the end of the week, they will have a complete level. The next week starts the process over until you have 52 dungeon levels. Sean McCoy of Tuesday Night Games, the press behind the award-winning tabletop RPG Mothership, created the challenge almost on accident, with a tweet about his newest project and an image of his notebook. But the indie TTRPG scene is nothing if not excitable, and easily swayed by the challenge. McCoy's personal goal quickly gained traction across Twitter. So you can see on screen, Mega Dungeon for 2023, 12 levels, 365 rooms, 1 room a day. Keep it all in a journal, and it has become a thing. So we're at day 2. I have some rooms done up. I will say, so I do photography and the like, and I've done month-long photography challenges. The wife has done month-long art challenges. 30 days can be a very, very hard thing to do. So doing something like this every day is a challenge. Do not get discouraged. Have some fun with it. If you sit down on Saturday and do all the rooms and write up some awesome level stuff on Sunday, you're doing catch up, and that's fine. Don't get discouraged. It's the whole idea is to get you used to having fun in writing and creating things. It's great for players. It's great for game designers. It's great for GMs. You get to thinking on how things work and putting things together. So I would love to see a ton of people jump in on this. Here we're day 2 of it. So I I may, share what I'm working on starting next week. So, yeah, I think maybe I'll do that. It might have to be done. I'll have to set up another camera that I can do like a top down of my of a notebook. So, whew, it's going to be a lot of fun. And I really want everyone to share. So tag us in any of your hashtag Dungeon 23 challenges, and let's see what you guys are doing. And if you want to jump on our Discord, maybe we'll make a whole new little room in our Discord for everyone to share their Dungeon 23 stuff. Okay, Paizo. So Paizo until January 18th, they have a discount code to Holiday 23. So from now till January 18th, take 15% off a single order on Pathfinder, Starfinder, and Cobalt Press print products at Paizo store using Holiday 23 at checkout. It's not too late to treat yourself. So they've got a whole list of stuff that you can get. So if you were looking at picking up some Paizo stuff and want to support the company directly, here's a way to do it. Let's see. Love the man. WizKids has put out some amazing new things. So they're pre-built, they're pre-painted, pre-made minis and everything have gotten so good. Let's see. Well, give me. Where's my zoom function? Oh well, that's it's as detailed as it'll let me go. So it's $100 to get the Critical Role Ota. Well, you can tell I don't watch Critical Role, but you can get it painted, which, I mean, it looks pretty badass. Or, I just found this out at PAX Unplugged. They do unpainted stuff now. So it's $10. So it's only $90 versus $100 to get the unpainted one. I don't know exactly how big it is. See, 3 pieces, head, base, head, midsection, and tail are all on their own bases. You can be posed or positioned all over your battlefield for as the rest is of the impossibly long serpent coils beneath the waves. The head bearing down on its prey or rewarding those that set it free stands nearly 5 inches tall. So that's a pretty sizable mini. Massive tail curls out of the water, looking to drag someone below, and it can hold one unlucky medium creature on a 25 mil base. That's cool. You can actually put a creature in the base. That's kind of cool. So the head and midsection are on 75 mil bases, and the tail's on a 50 mil base. That's big. Yeah, it's only $10. $10 cheaper for the unpainted. So, if you're not into painting, the $10 difference is worth it, because you're going to pay far more than $10 to get a paint job at that quality, and it comes out of the box. You can play it right like that. I guess it's more, instead of looking at it, the paint job is worth $10. They're only discounting $10 to not paint it, so that you can paint it at your leisure or color. You may not want to do the aqua and purple color. Yeah, exactly. So anybody that does, and I used to paint minis, so I would charge way more than $10 to paint a mini this size. If you know anything about Warhammer, basically back in the day, 10 years ago, I was charging basically the cost of the box of minis for the paint job. So if it was a $50 box of minis, it'd be $50 to paint them. And people were willing to pay it. Really do need to. I started doing some work on getting my office set up so I could do painting tutorials, because I'm going to try to work with WizKids to see if I can get some of these their awesome unpainted minis and get them to sponsor a painting stream. Let's see, we got some more Paizo news. So I try to weirdly I try to break things up. Some people like them grouped together, but I break them up. So I like to go back and forth. So available now. This was just after our last news. So this was a couple weeks ago. The Gloom, Doom, Rage, and Shadow. So, Starfinder Adventure Path number 49. A Light in the Dark. Drifter Hackers 1 of 3. So another. This is if you play Starfinder, they've got part 1 of 3 of their Drift Hackers. Adventure Path coming out. That's should be out now, and I really like what they're doing with all this stuff. And then they also released the Starfinder or the Pathfinder Society Guide Special Edition, or was that a little while ago? I think this was just recently. So, let's see. Lord of the Rings RPG, new Lost Odyssey trailer. So, a new trailer has been released this week for the tabletop for the Lord of the Rings role-playing game, Lost Odyssey: The Red Scribe. Going over the charity side of things, the trailer, which you can see below, features Eliza Wood and the game master Kate Welch from Acquisition Incorporated, going over the story that you'll be experiencing in the event, and what led to this event itself. The event will feature a bunch of actors and Gary Gygax's, I think, youngest son, Luke Gygax. And so for a tabletop showcase with the proceeds going towards Extra Life. Enjoy the trailer. So I'm not going to play the trailer, but I think it's actually super cool that they're getting a bunch of actors together to raise money, and they're not doing it with Dungeons and Dragons. They're doing it with something from Free League. The One Ring game is it's the Lost Odyssey Red Scribe is presented by The Lord of the Rings Rise of the War, an officially licensed mobile strategy game based on the iconic works of Tolkien. Brought to you by Free League is also sponsoring it. So love Free League. They're putting out some great games. And the One Ring, the cool thing with that is was it Cubicle or Crucible 7 had it, did the One Ring, and then they lost the rights to it, and Free League was able to work with them to get not only they got the core game that people were already playing. So there's the One Ring that Free League is running is like kind of a 1.5 edition of what was already out on the market. So you can actually, if you have all the old stuff, you can pick up the new stuff from Free League, and they're very compatible. Yes, it is a good sign that because this is a lot of I don't know if any of these people have really done RPGs stuff in the past. I know Elijah Wood has done a bunch of gaming stuff especially with Lord of the Rings. Reggie Watts, I think, has done some gaming stuff, and Luke Gygax is known for that. But I don't know if the others have. And TJ Storm can actually be pretty hilarious. So this should be actually a lot of fun. So, and they're actually all pretty interesting personalities. So, kind of looking forward to it. And I don't watch the gaming streams that often. Vast Grimm. So Vast Grimm is a sci-fi RPG based on Morkborg. And met the designer of it at PAX Unplugged. Super duper cool guy. It's funny because he's a sculptor, and friend of his ran him through Morkborg, and he went home that night and started making sculptures. And one of the sculptures he had at PAX Unplugged, and says, "Oh my God, there needs to be a game about this thing. And then he started doing all the stuff for Vast Grim. Vast Grim will be crowdfunding 3 new books, which is awesome. So I didn't even know he was going to be doing this. I'm sure that they were already ready. I've got the Vast Grim book up by my bedside right now, and it looks phenomenal. I mean, and if you like Mort Borg and you like sci-fi, this does the Mort Borg feel well. So, and super excited to see what their expansions are. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Modifius just released their Masters of Dune book. I need to get all. Oh, geez. I need to get a hold of. I want to get all the different covers, but whew, this one surprised me. $615. That is super cool looking though. Holy. Oh wow, yeah. This is. Yeah, Mort Borg is super hot right now. Only 150 of these made. That's probably why. That's $615. Look at that cover though. It's like a metal plate, and that is a sandworm etched onto that plate. Woo. Okay. And they only have 26 units left. Man, do I wish we had the funds for that. Because I would love to put that out for people to look at. So yeah, the Dune Adventures in the Imperium, Masters of Dune is now out, and if you are playing the Dune RPG, absolutely suggest picking these up. It is actually a pretty solid game. Okay, I gotta stop looking. I'm getting sucked in. Let's see. So, what's the name of the company that's doing this? But the Terminator role-playing game has dropped, so you can get the Terminator limited edition and the quick start, and then you've got the director's pack and the campaign book and the core book. I believe we got ours in the mail not too long ago, but I hate to say I haven't had time to go through it, but it's through Nightfall and Word Forge Games. So, and we got 2 limited edition covers. They've got a black cover and a white cover. I don't know why they did 2, but kind of neat. Folklore Bestiary for Old School Essentials by the Mary Mushman. So if you are into Old School Essentials, and they also did, so it's this is all stuff from folklore and superstitions, but they also did it for OSE, and they did it for 5e. As if you know, so back to Mort Borg, the people who do the Knock magazine, and Knock is like a quarterly magazine, and all the ones I've seen are focused on Mort Borg stuff. So, and here's the 5e one, because the OSE one's already out of stock in a lot of places. So they did it for 5e as well. Okay, so for all of those that don't have the willpower to not back everything on the Kickstarter, we are into our crowdfunding section. And so, Sands of Doom, a 5e campaign of characters level 1 through 11. So they're doing well. They got 10 days to go. They were looking for 30,000. They're 142. Pretty nice. It's their first created. Always going to put that out there. Always leery of somebody first created, no backed. This may be their, their business account. And they've backed everything on their personal account, but it usually is a red flag to a lot of people. But it does look like they've got a ton of artwork done. An undead army of 30,000 gnolls march towards the great tiefling city of Kriat. Always love it, fantasy names. Time is ticking, and the characters will have to find ways to unite the desperate species of the kingdoms against the inevitable onslaught. So, it does look like they're fairly, decent, fairly. They're far along in the development process, so it's not like, hey, we've got an idea. It's hey, we're basically ready to go to print. So $25 gets you the PDF, $50 gets you a PDF and hardcover, $85 gets you the hardcover, map pack, DM screen, and voice acting, professional voice acting, composed music of the original soundtrack. Okay, interesting. 135 gets you all of that, plus the Sands of Dune Monster Class softcover book. Nice. And magic item cards. Ooh. 225 gets you actually a really bitchin' looking collector's cover. So you get the hardcover book, tactical map pack, DM screen, professional voice acting, the OST, Sands of Dune Monster Class softcover book, magic item card, collector's edition hardcover, extra monster classes, softcover book. Interesting. That actually is a really badass looking cover. I'll be honest. I would kind of just like that. I do kind of like that they only include that in their highest pack. Let's see. There we go. World Canvas. So 41 hours to go. We've looked at this one a couple times. I wanted to see if they were gonna, get. They're down in the last couple days when they're in the hour tick down. But it doesn't look like they're going to get funded. Could always be wrong. And they were looking for 7,800 Canadian, and they're at 4,800 Canadian. Let's see. Haxen, a single-player tabletop RPG about fate, survival, and mysterious post-apocalypse. So they're 13 days to go. They were only looking for $1,400. So another Canadian. These guys are right up the road. So looking for $2,000. They're at just over 1,800. So they'll probably make it. So Michael Elliott, 4 created, 9 backed. Let's see. You are fated. The presters of your commune have read the runes. They cast the stones and looked into dead glass. What's dead glass? They have prophesied something in the requiem and given you portents of your death. Well, I don't want that. So, $4 Americans get you the PDF. $12 get you the print zine and the PDF. And that's it. Those are your options. Sometimes I love it when they're very, very simple. Available, fulfilled by drive-thru, available on Itch. Nice. Always good to see. So looks like it's created a few others and has some pretty decent looking art and no dice, no extra sheets. Haxen uses a resolution system of runes that describe potential outcome. So I am digging companies that are doing rune-based stuff. It is not in reach, but there's an awesome, it's also a Canadian company. It's an awesome RPG based in old school Scandinavian lore and everything. And seeing as how they didn't have dice and they did everything with runes, he wanted to make all the instead of dice rolls, all the randomization done through runes. And it's once you get the hang of it, super easy but super immersive as well. Tarnis RPG 5e. So this is out of Zamora, Spain. They've beat their goal. They've got 16 days to go. This is one we looked at really briefly when it launched. And like, I can't read any of it because I don't read Spanish. But it does look like it is a complete project. And I would love to get a hold of them and see if we can get a copy for the library, and maybe see if we can have a conversation. But let's see, $49 gets you stuff. Ships only to Spain. Oh, ooh, these are all ship only Spain. Wow. Well, if you're in Spain, or you know someone in Spain and are interested in this, you can. Are any of them shipped not to Spain? Nope, they are all shipped to Spain. Interesting. I don't remember seeing that the last time we looked. Let's see. Starset, The Great Dimming, a grimdark tabletop RPG system. The collapsing Oort cloud leaves mankind's ambitions cleaved, a grimdark RPG set during mankind's dusk, rich in lore and strategic mechanics. Oh, that's a crazy thought of, never thought of about if the Oort cloud starts to, collapse in. But, what would cause that? We'd have to have something either pushing it in, or we'd have to have more gravity, which if we had more gravity pulling the Oort cloud in, we'd also be pulling the planets in. So we'd probably die long before the Oort cloud collapsed. The crazy thoughts of your friendly librarian as he thinks about the real-world mechanics. What an interesting idea. So this is from Josiah Mork. I wonder how many Mork board games he's played. 4 created, 1 back. Founder of Hoodwink Games. So $12 gets you the PDF PDF rulebook and a backer credit. 15 gets you the PDF in black and white, or the player guide and Starset rulebook, both in black and white. Then $30 gets you the Starset rulebook, black and white ink, the Starset player guide in PDF, and the rulebook in PDF. 35 is the basic print reward. It's the softcover Starset rulebook, the PDF of both. 45 is the advanced print, so hardcover rule set and PDF of the player guide and the rulebook. I'm guessing the player guide is smaller. And $100 is the full starter set, all stretch goals, 2 softcover Starset player guide, premium black ink, hardcover rulebook, PDF of both, and the retail level. Ooh, $175 pledge level. A 30-minute video call with Josiah. All stretch goals, 2 soft covers, and then you get into the player one, or the complete one. So looks like everything's pretty much ready to go. If you are into a grim, dark future where Earth is about to, our whole solar system is about to perish, this might be up your alley. Creepy Cryptids Bestiary Deck. cards for role-playing games. So they've hit their goal. It's funny because I was just on a podcast where we were talking about cryptids and conspiracy theories. Something that YouTube did that has always made me mad is getting rid of or kind of collapsing the ability for all the conspiracy theory stuff. Man, some of that stuff is so entertaining to watch. I worked next to a guy that was a young Earth, flat Earth believer, and my favorite thing was he would print out websites to bring me because he believed that they would be different if I went there than from when he went there. Takes all kinds. It was outside of that, he was actually a great coworker, really good at his job. Sometimes you look at people and go, you know what, you're a little crazy in one part of your life, and I can still accept you for that. Let's see. A few years ago, we were smitten by the lovely biological bestiary style artwork in an Appalachian cryptid bestiary encyclopedia called "In the Land of Catawampus" by Bali Raven Studios. Since then, we've enjoyed a few collaborations with Bali Raven's chief artist. This is our latest attempt to merge Bali Raven's unique style with some of our favorite tabletop activities. In this case, classic pen and paper RPG. And so we looked at this when it first popped out. They've updated their thing, and I'll be honest, I'm actually super excited for this, just because it's some really cool things. They're slightly oversized, which I'm cool with. It just allows you to get more info on a card. So, but you can see some of the artwork is super neat. And then, so you got a Cthulhu card here, a Wendigo card. We're going to have to figure out, we got to get a hold of them. So $15 gets you an oversized cryptid deck, 36 total cards, made for use with OSE and other classic editions. Original biology bestiary art style from Bali Raven Studios, regional cryptid specialty artist. And they're giant 3-inch by 4-inch cards. $25 gets you the Cryptid Brick Express. Okay, what's the Cryptid Brick Express? We've made this popular add-on available as a pledge reward for those who may not be into RPGs. The Cryptid Brick is our nickname of our favorite card game, the Cryptid Hunter, the elusive card game. Our initial Kickstarter for this game supplied us with stock from for our store and vendor booths at game conventions. For this reason, those who pledge for this reward as a standalone pledge only can expect their brick to ship the same week the campaign ends. Okay, so it's their one of their other games. Cool. Cryptid Kin and Friend Bundle. This pledge obtain option includes 3 oversized decks and allows the backers to gift to friends and family. So that's nice. It's basically buy 2 get 1 free. And then all the they've got the early bird. 20 backers for this bundle get all the benefits of the friend bundle, but don't have to pay for the shipping. Nice. Well, there you go. Which is funny because they've got 4 left there. They've got 4 backers there. These might be overseas. I don't know. And then the early bird special, you get the oversized monster deck and don't have to pay for shipping. Nice. I'm actually super intrigued by this one. Dice Weaver. Oh, it's an upcoming project. God dang it. Well, we'll look at it when it launches. And then Silver Plate. This cracks me up so much. So they were looking for, because they're out of the UK, so they were looking for £9,000. They're at almost £101,000, 120, almost $122,000. So silver plate. This coffee cup is a cleric, and revives you with special liquids and elixirs. George the Burger. No molten cheddar shall consume my chivalrous knights. Shady Frank. I've mustered my strength using my mustard flavoring in my veins. I love this so much. This is the worst and best of everything that can be in an RPG. I mean, look at the ear of corn that's a ranger. Silly magic items. There's armor for a cup of coffee. It's a hot sleeve. So hey there, Tortuga. I didn't see you. I didn't see your message. I gotta bounce back and forth between YouTube and Twitch, because the way they both couldn't have their chats on the same side of things, could they? Let's see if I can do this. There we go. Okay, so $21 gets you the campaign setting in PDF form. 31 bucks gets you pledge list tiers, get you both the Tasty Lands of Silverplate campaign setting, or the Bright of Green Witch and other adventure book in PDF format. So you get the Bright of the Green Witch and other adventures, and the Tasty Lands of Silverplate. $50. You get the Tasty Lands of Silverplate hardcover. $80 gets you the Tasty Lands of Silverplate hardcover, and then the Blight of Green Witch and other adventures hardcover. Then you get them in PDF. $101. You get supersize. You get the hardcovers of both. You get the GM screen, setting map, and dungeon maps. The DRS bundle. So that gets you the Sylvieland campaign setting hardcover, Freya's Tears hardcover, Region Guide to the Tolia hardcover, Heritage of the Damned hardcover, Tasty Land Silverplate hardcover, Bright of the Green Witch hardcover, GM screen, setting map, dungeons, and then all of those in PDF. And then the early bird bundle's gone for all the different stuff. So, Sunday Mountain, the T word. You can be a baker, a cook, or the great eater. Follow the different faiths. Different monsters, the chocolate fountain. Oh, geez, the rusty stove. I'm so tickled by this silly game. I want it to do even better than it is, and I want to get a copy of it in the library. So, yeah, the supersized one gets you a ton of stuff, which is pretty cool. Ooh, supersized. You can get a collector's box to put everything in. Nice. Very nice. So yeah, the supersize is $101, and then they've got the DRS bundle. So right around $300. You get the collector's box with those two books, the GM screen, those. Plus, you get all the other stuff that they've put out for their other settings, which is kind of cool. Need to contact these guys because this game just looks so hilarious. I love it. Okay, what do we got on Indiegogo? We got Rain. Wait. Oh, I think this just ticked over. This was... Wait. No, this has been around for a while. Somebody sent this to me. I'm like, thought I recognized the name. Yeah, this one ended ages ago. So you can still buy it through this. But I was like, I thought I talked about this already. Sometimes the art of this absolutely says it is a far more serious game. But you're playing as food. And at no point did they say, no, we're not gonna take this seriously. Because they're taking it completely seriously. So, instead of going through all the stuff on itch.io, I suggest people go to itch.io and check it out. There's always good stuff here. They always have, you can search and look for tabletop RPGs and find some great little things. They've also got video games and stuff. And it'll tell you, like this is Windows, Linux, Apple, Android. And then you'll be able to, this is I just clicked on their winter sale. So you'll be able to go back to itch and let's see, physical games, or let's go books. So this is it's just a repository of tons of awesome stuff. There's free stuff, there's on sale stuff, there's all kinds of great things that you can find in here. So let's just click on tabletop role playing. So these are free, yeah. So Weird Science, Volume 1, Issue 1, Session 0. Oh wow, Chaosium put some stuff up on here for the starter of all the starter stuff for Call of Cthulhu. We were talking about recently companies that made it through the collapse in the late 90s. So when TSR died, it took most of the industry with it. But Palladium, Chaosium, Artel Saurian, I think we named 5 companies that we could think of that actually made it through. And we also said Steve Jackson Game, even though they weren't a role-playing game company, they were a game company. So they were able to go, ooh. GURPS and stuff made it through because of stuff like Car Wars and the like that really helped them get through all of that. Oh, there's some cool 7th Sea stuff on here. There's a bunch of stuff from people I didn't expect to be in here. Some Rune Quest is from Chaosium. Very nice. I'm going to have to go back and look through because there's some cool stuff in here. Let's see. Humble Bundle's got a ton of stuff. So 2 days left on the Wrath and Glory Warhammer stuff. So this is Cubicle 7. So Cubicle 7, talked about them earlier in the today because they were the ones that used to do the One Ring that Free League is doing now. So Cubicle 7 is now doing Wrath and Glory. This is so for $18. You can get the core rulebook, Church of Steel, redacted records. There's just so much stuff. If these were physical books, and you get a coupon to get more stuff from their store. Plus, there's a soundtrack. So if you purchase this, you get a free soundtrack as well. But it is a ton of really cool stuff. 40K World is awesome, and this is actually a pretty good version of the setting of the world. So, and I love that Humble Bundle stuff is all like DRM free. Let's see, this one I didn't see coming, but there's 20 something odd days left on this one, and Vaesen or Vaesen and Forbidden Lands. This is from Free League, so I speak very highly about Vaesen. It is really cool. So Vaesen is think of Ghostbusters set in the late 1800s. So it starts out Nordic horror. So you have your team has a castle that you go back to, and when you level up, you can put points towards leveling your character or level up your base to make your base better, which is super cool. The Wicked Secret and the Mythic Britain and Ireland. So you're based in London, going out to places in Britain and Ireland to do the same thing, fighting fairy tale the monsters of our fairy tales. I know there's one other book that has been released for Vaesen. It's all winter based folklore monsters for the Norwegian lands. Then you've got Forbidden Lands, which I haven't played. I've heard a lot of good things about, and it's free league. Every time I've looked through it, it looks great, but I have not played it as of yet. So you've got Forbidden Lands core game, The Bitter Reach, map and card pack, Raven's Purge, Spiral of Quetzal, Crypt of Melfreen Mage, and then the Forbidden Lands card deck, which I didn't know that was a thing. Then there's also we actually had some people within the library purchase this one because $18 you get 30 books for Dungeon Crawl Classics. Greatest Thieves in a Larkmar box set, not a physical one. It's PDF. Dungeon Crawl Classics number 83, The Chained Coffin. Number 84, Perils of the Purple Planet. Just like saying that one, Perils of the Purple Planet. Dungeon Crawl Classic, the core rulebook, which is a giant book. Goodman Games 2019 yearbook presents Riders of the Philixton. Gen Con 2018 program guide B11. It's not just a, hey, this is what's going on. There's some cool stuff in these. Tales from the Magician's Skull. Dungeon Crawl Classics Larkmore number 12, Mercies of the Day of the Eel. What we are currently playing on the stream are Sailors on the Starless Storm. Yes, these do have, so there is a very pulpy feel to the art. It is a mix between like old pulp art and early role-playing game art. They wanted to give you that early role-playing game feel, and when they were putting together the core rulebook, they actually got some very early artists, and sadly one of them passed away as the book was being published. But it's a gentleman that was in his 30s, in the 70s and early 80s, that was doing art. So by the time the mid 2000s rolled around, he was getting up there in the years. But yeah, there's so many books. Even Judge's Screen. So, I mean, just if you're at all interested in Dungeon Crawl Classics, this is a great way to pick up a ton of it. Now, I will say, one, when you buy, so the core rulebook in softcover form is only $25, and all of them, as far as I know, have a PDF code in them. So if you buy it from Goodman Games or you buy it from your local game store, for $25, you get the physical book and a PDF copy. And I mean, you just look, they were like, hey, 30 items, $18. They've tried to keep the prices of their stuff fairly cheap. They do have fairly expensive and cool collector's edition stuff, but that's much, they do those to, because the fans want them. Let's see, Drive-Thru RPG. So they always have stuff going on sale, but I was clicking through. So the deal of the day is the old Rogue Trader core rulebook, which I love that stuff is still available for download for sale. They have all the Frontiers products available, so I don't know who this is, but this is what I wanted to look at. Best-selling titles. Rollmaster, Core Law. Like, this one surprised me as being a top seller. Then Traveler, the Mongoose version, but the Free League Blade Runner. Atlas of the Latter Earth. But then you got Cyberpunk Red, and then you got Cyborg. Like, you have 3 different cyberpunk systems here. So I'm hoping that we get a bit of a renaissance for cyberpunk stuff, but I also fear that we get a glut of cyberpunk stuff. Oh, hey, the One Ring Strider module. Oh, cool. So yeah, you can look in the cheap stuff. They have free stuff. You can search by publisher. There's always cool stuff going on. I probably need to log in and see what things have been sent to the library. I downloaded 90 things that were sent to the library the other day. I always try to download them. I always try to take at least a gander through Dust Bunnies. So this uses the Savage World stuff. But yes, Life Under the Couch. It's adorable. Yeah, well, it's funny with the cyberpunk stuff because cyberpunk has always been that semi-popular thing. It'll have a hardcore core group of gamers, but it's going through a little surge of being fairly popular within role-playing games right now, which I hope is a good thing. And I hope we don't see a glut of bad cyberpunk stuff come out. I hope we see a lot of good, fun stuff that to add on to Cyberpunk 2020, Cyberpunk Red, Cyborg, and Blade Runner. And Blade Runner is less cyberpunk, more cyberpunk noir. And the box set for Blade Runner is really heavy on that noir thing, which I love that Free League got that. Because most people are like, oh, Blade Runner is a cool cyberpunk movie. I was like, it's a noir movie that's set in the future. Well, now the past, because it was, 2017? Okay, here's on to our last page. So, I always go after a bundle of holding last. So, we got the Rifts Core Mega. So, for $20, you get the Rifts Ultimate Edition in PDF, which is 419 pages, 3 Rifts guides and kits. That's the Adventurer's Guide, Game Master Guide, and the GM Kit, and the Index Adventures 1 and 2. So for $19, you get 6 books, and one of them is a big one. Then if you go down all the way down here, if you go up to $43.15, you get the core books, everything in the blue that we talked about, plus Rift Source Books 1, Robotics, Republicans, and Archie 3. The Ultimate Rifts reference on Magic. 80 Monsters and Animals of the Rifts North America. Black Market, New Career Options for Everyone Everywhere. Bionic Source Book. 3 Rifts conversion books, How to Bring Palladium characters, magic, and powers into Rifts Earth. And 3 more Rift source books. Vampires, Mechanoids, and Mindworks. So, I'm a big fan of Rifts. I think it's an awesome world. And then once you once you understand how the system is put together, it's really not that hard. A lot of people are like, oh, it's such a difficult system. It's not. I'm hedging my bet on Musket Punk becoming popular. So you say Musket Punk becoming popular. I have seen last year I saw 3 games based in and around the Revolutionary War. So hey, there's hope. You could be right. Musket Punk could be the next thing. See, more from Palladium. So we've got the Atlantean Collection. So $15 gets you Rifts Atlantis, Rifts Underseas, Lemuria, Splyan, Dimensional Market. I have this book, and I've never thought about actually pronouncing that before. And The Secrets of Atlantis. And then if you go up to $38, you get 9 more Rifts Worlds books. Includes Africa, England, Triax, South America 1 and 2, Japan, Mystic Russia, Warlords of Russia, and Australia. The South America 1 and 2 are really awesome books. Japan's a cool book. Mystic Russia's awesome. And Australia is actually pretty awesome as well. Those are the ones that I have played with over the years. See, and you've got 59 minutes left to get these Rift bundles. Ooh, so yeah, if you're interested in getting riffs, this is a great way to get into it, and makes it easy to search up stuff. So, 13th Age, you got 9 days. So for $25, you get the 13th Age core rulebook. D&D lead designers focus on cool and fun in fantasy role-playing. So yes, 13th Age is actually it's a really cool game. I like it. 13 True Ways, new heroes, new legends in your world. 13 Age Bestiary, 13 Age Bestiary 2, Book of Loot, Loot Harder, The Book of the Ages, Crown of Axis, 13th Age GM screen, and resource books. So that is all for $25. Then if you go up to roughly $42, you get all of that, plus Book of the Underworld, Book of Demons, Shards of the Broken Sky, Elven Towers, Eyes of the Stone Thief, Shadows of Eldin, High Magic, and Low Cunning. Sorry, that just makes me... Yes, 13th Age is very underrated, McNancy. It is criminally underrated. It is a really good game. See, Crown of Commands, Fire and Faith, Diamonds and Shadows. So, if... Put this out to other people... it's got a Diana Jones aboard. So it was like $42, I think it was. That is a ton of books. That is so much. I mean, $25 you get a ton. I mean, even just getting the starter collection, that's $25 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books, the GM screen, and the resource books that goes with GM screen. Then you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more books if you go up to less than double the price. That's bonkers. And again, a great game. Let's see, Blades in the Dark. What do we have? $13. You get Blades in the Dark, Duskwall Heist, and you got 9 days left on this one. Duskwall Heist deck, Duskwall Street Maps, Alone in the Dark solo rules, which is awesome. And then if you go up to $27, you get Band of Blades, so fantasy setting for Blades in the Dark. Scum and Villainy, a sci-fi version. Hack the Planet, a cyberpunk version. See, more cyberpunk stuff. A Fistful of Darkness, so you can play Blades in the Dark, but in the Weird West. Glow in the Dark. Post-apocalyptic future of Blades in the Dark, but with mutants and post-apocalyptic apes, mutant plants, and fast cars. I forgot it was called Glow in the Dark. $13 gets you the core. The settings collection is worth it. Getting that core book, and then just so many great settings, because you've got fantasy, you've got sci-fi, you've got cyberpunk, you've got Weird West, and you got post-apocalyptic. So for $27, you can play a little of anything with one set of rules. Wicked Ones. 14 days left. So $13 gets you Wicked Ones. Build your own dungeon, terrorize the populace, and stave off the inevitable heroes. So this is basically a reverse dungeon. Undead Awakening, standalone Wicked Ones game of zombie hordes where you're the zombies. War of the Overworld, a Wicked Ones campaign based on a video game series. Yeah, Fistful of Darkness, so take the Blades of the Dark rules with Deadlands. So, oh cool, the Wicked Ones so it's just $13. You get the Wicked Ones game, so reverse dungeon, undead reverse dungeon, and War of the Overworld based on a video game. And then the Wicked Ones Sandbox map pack, which is cool. Let's see. Fate of Worlds and Toolkits. So, Fate Worlds. So this is a Fate based. So for $10, you get the Fate Core Accelerated and Condensed books, five Fate toolkits, all the tools to build your stage. Cool. And then if you go up to 36 bucks, you get all of that plus 45 Worlds of Adventures, almost 4 dozen complete Fate campaign settings. Nice. Wait, 45 Worlds of Adventures, almost 4 dozen complete Fate. So they've got 6 that aren't complete. Fate Cthulhu, Tachyon Squadron, plus 5 supplements. Oh, wow. Nice. Fate Worlds Volume 1, Worlds on Fire. Fate Worlds 2, Worlds in Shadow. Kaiju Incorporated, playing as big monsters. Shadow of the Century. Totally Rad 1980s action to the max. And Young Centurions. Teenage pulp heroes defend the world of the 20th century as the 20th century opens. So if you like Fate, this is actually, or you know people that want to get into Fate, this is a great way to do it. Let's see. They got a lot of stuff going on. So this got 2 days left. Shadow of the Demon Lord. So the starter collection is Shadow of the Demon Lord. The end is just the beginning. The Demon Lord's Companion. Uncertain Fate. Dark Deeds in the Last Hope. Demon Lord Screen. Then if you go to $22, Hunger in the Void. Tombs of Desolation. A Glorious Death. Terrible Beauty. It sounds like my first girlfriend. Sorry, couldn't resist. Exquisite Agony. Tales of the Demon Lord. I don't know anything about this game. Hero, truly unholy rites have resurrected for a third time. Our May 2017 Shadows of the Demon Lord bundle featuring Shadows of the Demon Lord, Robert J. Schwab's tabletop fantasy role-playing game of grim heroism against the cosmic destroyer. In this fast-paced, fast-playing, low-prep RPG, desperate heroes battle strange magic, unhinged cultists, and roaming mobs of undead while humanity's great empire strides towards oblivion. Let's see. Demon Lord Victims. So more from the last game. So $10 gets you Beyond the World's Edge, 5 Lands in Shadow, Borderland of Tyr, Caceres, City of Death, Kingdoms of God, A Land Divided. 3 Victims of the Demon Lord, for Golden Glory, Only Human, Uncommon Courage. Then in the bonus collection, if you go up to $20, you get 4 more Victims of the Demon Lord, Godless, Forbidden Rules, and Demon Lord's Companion 2. Shadow of Demon Lords has been recommended so many times, but never played it. Yeah, I'll be honest, I've never heard of it. Never even seen it. So I will have to look it up. Then Fantasy Trip, Steve Jackson Games. Old school role-playing by Steve Jackson Games. So $15 gets you the core collection. Fantasy Trip Legacy Edition. Old school role-playing at its dungeon-crawling finest. Red Crypt, Face Death Alone. Labyrinth Planner. Danger awaits if you plan ahead. And Deluxe Character Journal. Then in the bonus collection, so if you go up to $27, you get Fantasy Trip Companion, nearly 4 decades of gaming history. Fantasy Trip's been around a while. Fantasy Trip Adventures Volume 1, Book of Unlife, and Hexgram Issue 1, the first issue of Fantasy Trip magazine. I enjoy Fantasy Trip is a fun game. It's nice that they re-released it. It was originally put out, originally published by Metagaming in 1977 to 1981, and it was before Steve Jackson had his own company. So he worked on it for another company, and then now he's gotten the rights to it, which is super cool. And yeah, July 2018, they got a $300,000 Kickstarter, so they did well with it. First ever DM from when I was 13 was a big Steve Jackson guy. Yeah, Steve Jackson has put out a lot of good stuff. Fantasy Trip, so it's fun because you can, if you've played Fantasy Trip stuff, and then you've played GURPS, you can kind of see where, like his growth as a designer. Because Fantasy Trip is very slim and raw compared to games that came after it. GURPS and Fantasy Trip was very focused on being a fantasy game. GURPS is very focused on trying to be a good set of core rules to do anything. But yeah, same guy created Car Wars, Ogre, which is, I always want the giant box that they did the massive Ogre game in. Illuminati, I won an Illuminati tournament when that came out, because there's a card in the game that says I lied, and before the game started, I talked my opponent into throwing the game, and when he was ready to throw the game, he put himself into a bad situation as a way to throw the game, and I played I lied, and he tried to complain about it, and the ref said, nope, that's how this game goes. Sorry, buddy. I also created Munchkin, which Munchkin has been, just doing great things for him. So, really excited to see that they're doing Fantasy Trip again. So, well, that is the end of what we got today. So, like to thank everyone for tuning in. We've been on for a little bit, about an hour and a half. A lot of cool stuff. Super excited about some really good games. So I've been reading through Grand Odyssey. We're going to try to get Jeffrey back on and play his game and find a way that we can get it in the US, because it's an A4 size game, you can see. Got our Transformers RPG. Got a replacement for Spelljammer. The only things that really get stolen out of the library, we've noticed, have been D&D 5e stuff. So take that with whatever it's worth. So hope everyone has enjoyed themselves, and thank you all for being part of the library today. And Happy New Year, and do great things. It's going to be a good year. So until next time, the library is closed.